Bizrat Hashem, Finkala, 5:45. 5:45, you're lighting it up. It's great to be here, Kavra. As you can see, I'm pretty much giving it away right here by just looking at the moon. You know I'm in Yerushalayim. You know we're all in Yerushalayim. Suggestion from my father, actually, to flip around the chair. So now it's more magical, the background. It's not just a curtain, but it's really the whole picture. Last night was such a good night. Fabring, Yutai Kislev, the whole thing. I was in B'nai Alma, this farm sale. I saw, a ton of people there. It was really fun. I didn't stay for the concert, but we have next year. B'ezrat Hashem. So I don't have a tefillah in front of me, the exact wording from Rav Nassan. I don't have the halachos, and we also made an objective last night. It was our homework to go back and learn the halacha. I'm sure halacha of Chanukah. I'm sure everyone did it, but me. I didn't do it, so I have to do two halachot tonight for Chanukah. B'ezrat Hashem. So tefillah of B'Shem Kol Yisrael is through these two quotes. For Pesach, Reuven ben Yosef Asar, Bracha Bas Yehudi, Smirim Dodi Bas Chani L'Chaved, Yonah Bas Basia, Nahori Bas Hareli, Mamash, every neshama in Am Yisrael, every neshama that's suffering right now, spiritually, mentally, physically, should have refuah through this tefillah, through these quotes from the Baal Shem Tov. So the Baal Shem Tov says that every Jew comes into this world to fulfill some sort of calling. Just as the sweeper who cleans the courtyard gets dirtied himself, so can one who seeks to repair the world be contaminated by evil. That is the deepest quote in the world. Just as the sweeper who cleans the courtyard gets dirtied himself, so can one who seeks to repair the contaminated world from evil. Deep stuff from the Baal Shem Tov. So now we pretty much opening up to shining knowledge. Shining knowledge, Chanukah. We just moved on from shining children. We didn't do the whole chapter, but we're going to continue with shining knowledge. 5 days until Chanukah, 3 until Shabbos. It's really incredible. Just the countdowns are really just getting us excited. So this is where we all need to open up our hearts. This is the deepest teaching in the history, honestly. I imagine that I want to know what's going on in the world. Imagine that I want to know all about God. Just imagine, I want to know everything about God. Rav Nachman says that in order to understand God, in order to understand it, I should light up a torch which is 2 million miles long and 10 million miles high. And then I could really see. Then I could really understand. David, do you have a torch like that? But it isn't true. Do you know what I really need to know about God? I need a little candle. The sun has a great light, the moon has a great light, but the candle has a little light. There is something beautiful about the candle, however. It doesn't really drive out the darkness. The candle does not fight darkness. It says to darkness, on the contrary, I want you to stay. Because if there will be no darkness, you will not be able to see the power of light. So the candles say to the darkness, it's okay with me. However, this is deep. This is deep stuff. There is more beauty to the candle. Do you know what is so beautiful about the candle? A kind of holy intimacy, a very deep thing. Intimate means deep. If I'm not intimate with somebody, our relationship is stuck on a shallow level. You can know everything about God, but on a very shallow level. Maybe you know just a little bit about God, but if you know the little in an intimate way, it is more precious than everything else in the world. And now we have one of our Rebbes on, Rav Danila. We need to open up our hearts a little bit more. A couple miles deeper. There are people who study theology all their lives. They talk about God and they write books about God, but they are not intimate with God. Sometimes even a drunkard or a little schlepper, if they know God in a deep personal way, can be intimate with God, more intimate than a professor of theology. I was once walking down Eastern Parkway and a Yid said to me, "Hey, where are you going?" And I said back to him, "I'm going to the Lubavitcher Rebbe." "Yeah," he says, "I know the guy." What does it mean that he knows the guy? He knows that his name is Rabbi Schneerson, and he knows he lives on Eastern Parkway, but what does he really know? What does he know about Rabbi Schneerson? Is it on an intimate level? And what do we know about God? That's the obvious question. What do we really know about God? I know he created the world and he gave us the Torah, but do you know anything about God? Humanly speaking, do you know anything personal about God? Imagine someone is a doctor, but he also has a private life. Humanly speaking, God also has a private life. So God created the world and God created the Torah, and God is taking care of us. It's all good. But what do you really know about God? What is the basic difference between a pagan and being a servant of God? In paganism, I'm worshiping a god or money or a statue or an animal or whatever in order to get something. There is nothing personal between me and this God. I need this God to give me money, so I throw him a few sacrifices, right? It's in paganism, right? We just want to receive. We want to receive. We want to be a wide receiver. But on Chanukah, everybody knows. Everybody knows. The moon knows. The moon knows. I'm pointing to the moon right now. Davy knows. Tamar knows. Finkelstein knows. Donnie, Leora. On Chanukah, the light is so clear. I know I'm serving God, and it is a personal relationship. True, I need him. But it's so much more than just needing God for something. Right? We need things. We need money. We need food. We need life. We need relationships. We need depth. We need sparks of motivation. We need all this from God. But on Chanukah, I'm finally mamish, serving God for no specific reason at all. And this is the deepest connection there is. Right? So if you ask someone, we all go back to this. If you ask someone, why do you believe in God? And he says, you know what, I'll list you 10 reasons why I believe in God. Is that really an intimate relationship? Is that really believing in God? Right, you're already limiting your faith to God. But if I ask someone, why do you believe in God? And the person says, I don't know, I just do. That's so deep. And it seems so shallow on the outside, but it's the deepest, deepest kind of connection. That's why Rav Shlomo's bring up the drunkards, the simpletons, the wood choppers of the world that seem like they're on such a low level, that seem like they're so far and so distant from Hashem. But they're so intimate, they're so deep. Yeah, they may not be writing all the books about God, but they have an intimate relationship with God. So in Chanukah, again, just to reiterate the holy words from the Rav Shlomo, is that we're serving God for no reason. I just want the light. I just want you. That's all I want in the world, only you. I forget which Rebbe you said it, but the Rebbe says, the Tzaddik says, that I don't care about this world and I don't care about next world. What I really only care about is being with you. You should only be caring about being with God. Any questions, comments? And by the way, that's very deep. That's very deep. It's another conversation. Questions, comments, please feel free. How awesome. There's just no words. We're actually living the Torah. We're actually living the Torah, Kapra. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. I think one of the Lubavitcher Rebbe's said, I have like this new book that I'm obsessed with. I can reveal the secrets afterwards. It's a quotation book. I think it's like a Hasidic Masters or something. But one of the Lubavitcher Rebbe's say that in order to give over a story, you need to be smart. You need to be smart. But what's on a higher level? What's the higher level, Chavra? What needs more intellect? What needs more wisdom? To be able to listen to a story. We all know how to listen. You guys are teaching me how to listen. So gewalt. So gewalt. Anyone else before we conclude? All right, Chavra, we should all be healthy, happy, and successful, whether we're back home, being with the family, developing more intimacy with our relationships. Devi and Yeshiva, all about the intimacy, all about the relationships. A little bit is good. A little bit is good. Finkelstein, developing, building relationships at such an abnormal time during the day, during the week, we all know. And Donna literally connecting with all types of Yidden, all of Am Yisrael. Mamash, all of Am Yisrael, bring everyone into the circle. And Lior, we all know, is connecting all the dots in Israel with the relationships. Sort of like Samson with the bridges. Bezrat Hashem, Chaver, we should continue to connect. We should continue to bring people into the circle. We should continue to have an intimate relationship and develop intimacy with our relationships. And serving God for no reason. Give out. Be well.